Today we're getting right into it. Our topic is setting squad goals. Reflections of Purpose. Welcome to Twisted Threads. My name is Karen Sims and you joined us for our Reflections of Purpose. And for those who are new to the ride, we want to welcome you for joining in with us. But these are the times that we talk about a few topics that we want you to consider as you're going along your daily way and trying to figure out what things will be pushing you forward, talking about professional development and personal development. So, setting squad goals. What does that mean for you? Well, many of us, we hear that on social media, marriage goals, dating goals, parental goals, all these things. We hear about that, but we don't always think about how do we dig into actually setting up what our squad goals should be. So we know a lot of times we hear people say things as such of birds of a feather flock together. And so that means that if we're going in the same direction, odds are we've got a lot of the similar characteristics that each other has. And so winners are around winners. And your grandparents would say that. I know my grandparents would say it. And even my parents would be like, well, if you hang around losers, you're gonna lose. It's a real thing. And so when you're thinking about where you want to set squad goals, so are there squad goals that you need to have at work? Absolutely. Are there squad goals that you need to have when it comes to your personal life? Definitely. But when you're thinking about all of these things, kind of put them together in your life for real setting of goals so that you can identify when a ring is in your circle. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes you get people who might have a leechy type personality where it's like they just want to hang on to your coattail. They want to do what you do. They want to be at the parties, but they don't actually want to put in the work. They just want to show up when the fun begins. Well, guess what? When you're setting squad goals, you got to think through what it means to have particular people in your life. So let's go down the list. Do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? Do you know the difference between a mentor and a coach? Fear not. We'll get into that in another session and installment of Reflections of Purpose. But today you just need to put it on the list that you should have both. You should have a mentor. You should have a coach. You also have to have folks who are on your squad who have an entrepreneurial spirit. So maybe you're not that person. Maybe you're an introvert and you find yourself having a few friends that are extroverted. All of us have them. They're the life of the party. They're the people who come in and you're like, yes, I know that they have it all together. But maybe you're okay with coming in the room and sitting in the corner. Now, you got gifting and talents in your own area, but you're like, that's just not my thing. I don't want to talk to every person in the room. I don't want all of the spotlights to be on me. It's okay because there's still a place for you as you're setting your own personal squad goals. So same type of thing. You want to have people who are winning. And if they're not, and they are on your squad, they're on your team, they got to at least have the influence to be able to change. So it's not so much that we're looking to judge anybody or discredit anybody from the chapter of their life that maybe we're coming in on. Maybe we don't know what it took for them just to be in this spot here. But as you're setting your own personal squad goals, look, you got to be honest with yourself. Where do you want to go and how quickly do you want to get there? It's important because as we think about, I'm a woman of a certain age is how I put it. I'm not 25 anymore. And it's an interesting thing that at a particular age, you no longer ask for permission to move forward in your life. You know the things that are good for you. You know the things that are bad for you. And some of us, we choose the things that are not good for us. And we know they're not good, but we still move forward with them. That's okay as long as you can handle the consequence. Now, look, I may not be able to handle the consequence of the decisions that you made in your life. So it would be a choice for me to stay connected with you if I think that your goals and your direction for your life are not going in the same way that I would be wanting to go. You got to get somebody on your squad who really knows how to get things done. So you got somebody who's got an entrepreneurial spirit. You also need somebody who's that CEO. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter whether they actually own a company or are a CEO in a company, but if they've got that personality that they can get stuff done, that they understand big picture, you need visionaries on your squad. Everybody on your squad can't be worker bees. Gotta have some queen bees in there. Why? Because the queen bees understand that even though the work needs to get done, we still got to push forward with the vision. So you got your visionaries. Do you have a dreamer on your squad? The reason why it's so very important for you to have a dreamer or be the dreamer on your team is because sometimes life gets hard. Doing the everyday mundane things sometimes gets boring, but the dreamer will allow you to take those everyday tasks and turn them into something that have more meaning. Dreamers remind us to be hopeful. Dreamers remind us to be grateful for what we've got today. Why? Because odds are, the resources may be slim come tomorrow, so we better use them the best way that we know how right now. Dreamers remind us of those things. Same thing with a visionary. Now, visionaries sometimes may collide with dreamers. They may collide because the visionary is like, look, the goal is right there, and we need to do 1, 2, 3 to get there. So it's sort of one of those red light, green light type situations that you might have going on. And many of us played that game going up, and when it was red light, you couldn't move at all. But when it was green light, you tried to run really, really quickly to get to whoever the person was so that you could tag them. Why? To win the game. And that's the goal with setting up squads and with creating squad goals for you and where you want to go. You got to be just transforming your own mind, thinking about where you want to be in a year from now. Where do you want to be in 2 years from now? If you are a person, when we think about squad goals, even connected to relationships. If you're a person who expects to be married within a 2-year time, I say 2 years because I know some of you get into a relationship and the next thing we know, you're married in 3 months, 6 months. That's none of my business. But sometimes it takes you a little bit of time to go through seasons with somebody to see, are they really built to continue the journey along with you? Because some of our lives are complicated. I try to keep my life as simple as possible, but I see things around me and I know sometimes complications come. You got to know how the people on your squad are going to react when it comes to whether complications come up. You also need to know, how do they celebrate a win? Okay, I recently posted just some benefits and some expectations for if you are going to have yourself in a winning circle. So, and I want to go through some of those before we finish our Reflections of Purpose installment today. So, if you're in a circle of winners, here's a few things to expect. Expect to win knowing that your turn is coming. So maybe today is not the day that we're celebrating you, but whoever today's winner is, you should be celebrating them in the meantime. Expect to encourage the people in your circle. Why? Because even though a win is there, usually in a winning circle, we're then thinking about, so what's the next thing we need to do? What's the next task on our list? And most oftentimes, most winners are very goal oriented. And so sometimes we'll miss the emotion in it, and we got to have those party people. That's right. I said we need party people in our squad. Having a party person because they know what it's going to take to celebrate. They know the start, the end time, and how to keep you moving so that you don't just get stuck in the, well, I did that. Because accolades are great. Achievements are wonderful, but it's always got to be something else that you're doing at the end point of that. And our party people remind us we got to get it in. The turn up is real, whether it's a celebration for birthday, for graduation, for promotion, for new house, for new car, whatever it is. But the party people know what? Final call, keep it moving so that we never get delayed in those things. Expect to pay full price for your folks who are entrepreneurs. Don't try to always get a discount. Why? Because winners understand that dreams take money. When you are moving forward with trying to set squad goals, you got to be thinking about that. Expect detours and hiccups as you're doing different things. Know that there may be some plan Bs that you'll need to come up with. Expect temporary failures. And we'll talk more about what failures actually can do. And it's not that failure is a negative thing. Failure is a great thing that we can kind of keep within our lives. So as we're ending today, we just want to remind you again, what are you doing to set squad goals? Now, look, my squad can't look like yours. Why? Because the tasks that I have, the dreams and the legacy that I'm building don't look the same as yours. But at the end of the day, winning circles look similar in nature. Get you a coach, get you a mentor, get you that party person, that visionary, that planner. You also need the introverted friend and the extroverted friend. Now, for me, I also say you need to get somebody who is spiritual in some sense, that know how to get a prayer through, because sometimes you just got to sit down somewhere and believe that God's plan is better than anything that you could think of. So as you're thinking about setting your squad goals, write them down and make sure, is Mary on the squad, and is she playing the right position? Because if she's on the squad but she's in the wrong spot, sometimes you got to shift those players around to make sure that you have a strategy for winning, even in the relationships that you're sharing with the people in your lives. We love them. We're glad that they're in our circles. We're glad that they're pushing us forward, but we got to make sure that we've got the right people on our squad as we set in squad goals. Look, this is Twisted Threads. Remember, as always, to like and share these videos. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We hope to see you again for another installment of Reflections of Purpose. Have an amazing day.
Reflections